I'm Greg Wintereg, CEO of Matterhorn Business Development. And in today's video, I'm going to do what I call myth busting. I want to take a look at some rules of selling and just really evaluate, is this the way you should operate or is this a myth? And I think the number one biggest rule in sales is the customer is always right. Now, when you approach that, basically what you're doing is you're saying whatever it is that they are asking for, you're going to make your product conform to their request, you're going to make them right, and that way you lead to a sale. I was recently talking to a fellow who owns a landscaping company. He was called out to the job site, and the homeowner was a bit upset because a few months earlier she had paid for new sod in this particular part of her home in the yard, and the sod was dead. So obviously the landscaper didn't know what he was doing. He gave her bad sod, he ripped her off. And my client looks at this and says, well, this is a shaded area. Sod is not going to grow here. And she was a bit surprised. She said, well, then why would somebody sell me sod for this area? He said, I don't know, but we do know. The customer was right. So she was not right. She was wrong. And so my client looks at her and says, I'm not going to sell you sod for that area because it's not going to grow and you're going to be wasting your money and then you're going to be as upset with me as you are the last guy. She said, well then what can I do in this area? She didn't know. So then she wasn't right, was she? What do you do in an area that is shaded? Well, he gave her some options. There would be other things landscaping wise that he could do, and he ended up helping her with her problem. So here's the point. The customer always thinks they're right, but who knows more about your product or service than you? It's possible that they could if they've gone online and done their research, but obviously if this customer had done that, she would have called the first landscaper out and said, you know, I'd really like sod here, but I know it's not going to grow. She didn't do that. So the myth is busted. The customer is not always right. So if the customer then is going in a direction where they're wrong and you go ahead and do what they want and make them right and get the sale, but then when they get home it doesn't function the way you knew it wouldn't, the way they thought it would, are they going to be a return customer for you? No. Are they going to refer you their friends and relatives? No. You got the clothes, very well done, but you didn't really help them. So the number one thing you have to take a look at is get to know them, find out what it is that they need, and you have to be completely willing to tell them that they're wrong. Now, we're going to do that politely. We're going to say, well, you could do that, but here would be the end result. So in my professional opinion, this is what you need to do. And there will always be that person who does not want to listen to the professional. In their mind, they will always be right. And if them then buying your product leads to a failure, then I would just suggest you not sell it to them. I've looked at people before and said, if you want to do it that way, you're not going to do it with me. So you have to take a look at your long-term reputation. You have to take a look at the customer service of all this. You have to take a look at repeat business. And so in this situation, the customer is not always right. And I consider that myth busted. Have a great day. There's more video where this comes from. Click the subscribe button. We'll send it to you as soon as it comes off the press.